Namaskarams and pranamams to all the viewers of Music Namaste channel. I am Vatsalya Tulasidaran from Chennai, India, and I feel greatly blessed to render a discourse on the greatness of Lord Shiva, his Nama and the glory of his Bhaktas on the auspicious occasion of Mahashivaratri. My Guru, Shri Anand Dayanidhi, conferred with the title Bhagavata Pravachana Ratna, and I have been learning from him for the past 10 years. On this auspicious day, for rendering this discourse, I am ably accompanied by Sriram Srinivasan on the Mridangam, who is the disciple of S.J. Arjun Ganesh. Hara Namah Parvati Pataye, Hara Hara Mahadeva, Adi Parashakti Mata Ki Jai. सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय, समस्त भक्त मंडल की जय। वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव, सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। नमः शिवाभ्यां नवयौवनाभ्यां परस्पराश्लिष्ट वपुर्धराभ्यां नागेन्द्रकन्या वृषकेतनाभ्यां नमो नमः शंकर पार्वतीभ्यां। माता च पार्वती देवी पिता देवो महेश्वरः, बान्धवा शिवभक्ताश्च स्वदेशो भुवनत्रयम्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः, गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म, तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। हर नमः पार्वतीपतये, हर हर महादेवा। தென்னாட்டுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி. The ocean of compassion, Lord Shiva, has blessed us all to indulge ourselves in this divine satsanga, to enjoy the glory of Shiva Perumal, the glory of his namas, and the greatness of his bhaktas on this auspicious occasion of Mahashivaratri. Mahashivaratri is a festival celebrated on the 13th or 14th day in the Krishna Paksha of Magha or Phalguna month. It is a festival which is dedicated to Lord Shiva. Unlike other festivals, this festival is celebrated in the night time devotees across the globe involve themselves in satsanga. They keep listening to the stories and greatness of Lord Shiva. They keep chanting his names throughout the night, and they visit temples throughout the night. Other festivals are celebrated during the daytime, but this festival is celebrated in the night time. Other festivals are for us to enjoy and to share our happiness, but this festival signifies knowledge. It emphasizes on isolation. It emphasizes on true realization. Every single man or every single Jivatma in this world must have the knowledge of Bhagavan and must attain him ultimately. That knowledge comes to us after great efforts. It requires tremendous efforts from our side to move from ignorance to knowledge, from darkness to light. How do we move from darkness to light? How can we control our mind and push it towards knowledge? How do we offer our mind and our body and our soul to Lord Shiva itself? Adi Shankara Bhagavad-pada, who is considered to be the incarnation of Lord Shiva, explains the process of offering our prayers to Lord Shiva, and he describes how a true devotee should offer his prayers to Lord Shiva. Aradhayami manisannibhamatmalingam Mayapuri hridaya pankaja sannidishtam Shraddha nadi vimala chitta jalabhishekai Nityam samadhi kusumehi apunarbhavaya Ratnai kalpitamasanam himajalai snanam divyambaram Nararatna vibhushitam vrigamalamodankitam chandranam Dhatitam Shaivam prayers, I will offer my puja to Lord Shiva. And I will also tell the purest puja which every one of us must offer to Lord Shiva. In the shloka, he explains the puja process which is constant and which will always be with us and which is the best form of puja. He says, Aradhayami manisannibhamatmalingam. I will offer my prayers to Lord Shiva. Where is he? If I am not able to get out of my house, or if I am held up with many work, then where do I find him? Can I give excuses and say that I am not able to visit temples? In fact, I am so busy that I am not able to visit my puja room also. So I will not offer my prayers. Should we be like this? Adi Shankara Bhagavad Gita says, don't give excuses. The best form of Lord Shiva is Atma Lingam. Your own Atma, your own soul. The Jivatma that is present in you, which is always seated in you, is always accompanied by Lord Shiva, who dwells in all the living beings. He becomes the lingam in us, Atma Lingam. When we convert our own Atma and when we look into our Atma as lingam, then we need not search for Lord Shiva elsewhere. We will start looking at every single being as Lord Shiva himself. We will start realizing that we are Amritasya Putraha, like how the Veda says. We are all the sons or daughters of the eternal truth. So, see your Atma as lingam. Place that lingam in your heart. Your own Atma is a reflection of one quality of Lord Paramatma. So, you are the Paramatma. Atma Lingam. Mayapuri Hridaya Pankaja Sannivishtam. I know that my Atma is the lingam. But where will I place it? Where will I keep it? Hridaya, the heart, is the seat for this lingam. Hridaya Pankaja Sannivishtam. That is like a lotus asana, lotus seat, which is prepared for the linga to be pratishtha, to be established in that seat. Mayapuri Hridaya Pankaja Sannivishtam Shraddha Nadi Vimala Chitta Jalabhishekaihi. This lingam needs abhishekam. Shiva Perumal is in fact called Abhisheka Priya. So if abhishekam is to be performed, where will I draw the water? From where will I get this water? And what is the nature of this water? Adi Shankara Bhagavad Gita says, Shraddha Nadi. Devotion, faith and bhakti is that river from which we will have to draw water. And what is the nature of water? Vimala Chitta Jala Abhishekaihi. Pure thoughts, noble thoughts, pure devotion is the water that we use to perform Abhishekam for Lord Shiva. So this is how we must perform our puja to Lord Shiva. And this must be done every day. Nityam Samadhi Kusumaihi Apunarbhavaya. Every day we will offer pushpam and our meditation and our pranamams to Lord Shiva. Ratnai kalpitamasanam himajayai दिव्याम्बरं नानारत्नविभूषितं मृगमरामोदाङ्कितं चन्दनं दातीतं बिल्वपत्ररचितं पुष्पं धूपं तथा दीपं देवदयानिधे पशुपते हृत्सर्पितं रत्नैः कल्पितम् आसनं. I have imagined a throne which is studded with precious gems and stones. Himalaya Snanam. I will bathe you with cold water. After bathing you, Snanam cha Divyambaram Nana Ratna Vibhushitam. I will dress you up with divine clothes which is studded with precious gems and stones. Mrigamadam Modankitam Chandanam. I will anoint you with Kasturi sandalwood paste. Jati Champaka Bilva Patra Rachitam Pushpam cha. I will offer many flowers to you, like the Jati flower, the Champaka flower, and the Bilva leaves. Pushpam cha. Dhupam Tatha Deepam. I will offer Dhupam, that is incense sticks, and Deepam, Deeparadhana, to you. Deepam, Deva Dayanidhe Pashupate Hrit Kalpitam Grihyatam. You are the embodiment of compassion. Dayanidhe. You are the reservoir of Daya. Pashupate. He is the Lord of all beings in this mortal world. Pashupate. Since you are the Lord, since you are the ultimate master of this entire universe, I am offering my prayers to you. Hrit Kalpitam Grihyatam. Even if I am not able to offer all these, really, in reality, I would like to offer all these through my mind. Hrit Kalpitam, through my thoughts to you. Please accept this, O Prabhu. Sauvarne Navaratna Kantarachite Kare Kritam Karyam Bhakshyam Panchavidham Ayodhapiyodhapiyam Bhavaram Panakam Saganavayutam Jadam Ruchikaram Karpuram Kantojvaram Kamulam Manasamaya Vidachitam Bhaktya Sviguru. I have golden vessels, and these vessels are studded with precious gems and stones. What do I offer in that? What Naivedyam am I offering? He says, curd, ghee, milk, bhakshya panchavidham, 5 types of food, butter, panakam. I give everything to you, O Lord Shiva. I also give tambola, betel leaf to you. All that I request from you is Bhaktiya Prabho Svikuru. I am offering all this to you. But even if the food seems to be very rich, even if the vessels seem to be very royal and rich, that is not the ultimate point here. I am trying to give all this to you and offer all this to you with bhakti. Bhaktiya Prabho Svikuru. Even if there is some fault with the curd, milk, ghee, or any other food that I offer to you, or even if there is some fault with the vessels through which I am offering all these bhakshanam to you, don't consider those. Please consider my noble thoughts and my bhakti towards you. Because bhakti ultimately protects us all, and bhakti is what is required from all bhaktas. In fact, in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shri Krishna says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. Even if you give me a leaf, even if you give me one drop of water, Even if you are able to give me only one flower, I am happy with everything and anything that you give me, provided it must be given out of bhakti. Bhaktya. And Shiva Perumal accepts everything from his bhaktas. Kannappa Nayanar was one of the greatest devotees of Lord Shiva who didn't know how to perform puja. So he offers meat to Lord Shiva. For Abhishekam, he goes to the nearby well and takes water out of it. He puts it in his mouth and he gargles it out. He spits it out on Lord Shiva. But Lord Shiva accepts all these things because he does not look into acharam and shuchi if it is given out of bhakti. There was one more Nayanmar who was deeply into Jainism. Somehow he was attracted towards Shaivism by Lord Shiva's blessings. But he couldn't come out of Jainism because at that point of time Jainism was flourishing and they did not allow anyone to leave their religion. And if they leave, then they would be severely punished. So fearing punishment, this Nayanmar didn't know how to offer his praise to Lord Shiva. So, to fool this entire world, he kept throwing stones at Lord Shiva. But internally, he considered these stones to be flowers for Lord Shiva. And that's why, when he threw the stone, it got converted into flower and it was like he was performing Pushpa Archana to Lord Shiva every day. So Lord Shiva does not expect rich offerings. He does not expect Yaga Yajnam to be conducted on a large scale. He expects only bhakti. And if we are able to give it from our mind, like how Adi Shankara Bhagavad has said, Shiva Manasa Puja Stotra. If we are able to place him in our mind and if we are able to offer our prayers to him, he will accept it wholeheartedly. Then, Adi Shankara Bhagavad says, Chakram Chamara Yor Yugam Vyajana Samjadarshakam Nirmanam Veena Bhedam Kamagatarahi Sampratyam Tatha Sasham Pranasistutir Bahuvidha Yetam Samastam Taya Samkalpena Samarsitam Tava Vidho Puja Kridhana Prabho. Says, I will hold an umbrella for you. I will keep fanning you with Divya Chamara and I will also show the mirror at you. This mirror kept in front of you is very, very pure and very clear. You know why? Because this is my heart. This heart is always filled with your thoughts and it is always filled with bhakti. So I place my heart, which is like a mirror, which is a reflection of you in front of you. I offer music and dance accompanied by veena and mridangam to you. Here, we will have to understand that even if we are able to offer music and dance to Lord Shiva through our mind with pure devotion, that is enough. It is not important whether we are aligning to the Shruti or whether our Talam is good, our Laya sense is good, whether the Ragam is correct. None of these are important if Bhakti is there, if Bhavam is there. If a small kid sings Shiva Namam and Shiva Kirtanam, Shiva Perumal will come and sit there because he wants all his bhaktas to chant his name constantly, and he does not go too deep into technicalities. So here Adi Shankara Bhagavad Pada is giving us an easy way out. He says, if you are not able to offer it 100% with all sorts of technicalities being implemented, then don't worry. You know the technicalities. You know how the ragam and talam should be. Imagine it in your mind and offer it to that lingam who is placed in your heart, and do it with 100% devotion. And when you add that flavor, when you add devotion to it, ragam, talam, bhavam, everything flows into it and it becomes complete. That is why a famous Kavi sings, Bhakti Jilla Sahitya Sangeetam Kalantaruho Marave. Bhakti Jilla Sahitya Sangeetam Kalantaruho Marave. Bhakti Vina Sahityam Sangeetam. Even if we offer all the Devarams, the entire set of Periya Puranam to Lord Shiva, if it is not given out of love and bhakti towards Bhagavan, then it will not give us the desired result. So, focus more on bhakti and focus more on channelizing your mind and your thoughts towards Lord Shiva. Meena bheri mridanga kahalakala Geetam Chandrityam Tatha. After offering all this, Sashtangam Pranatistuti Bahuvidha Hetat Samastam Maya. I will offer my namaskaras. I will fall down at your feet and I will prostrate in front of you. Sashtangam. So that it symbolizes me offering everything to you. This entire body is yours. This entire life is yours, and I am offering everything to you. O Prabhu, Sashtangam Pranatistutir Bahuvidha Hetat Samastam Maya Sankalpena Samarpitam. Through me, whatever is offered, all these are offered from my imagination. But please accept those offerings. Because Atmatvam Jivitavati Sahajara Pranasaviram Dirham Pujate Vishayopabhoganadhanita Samadhisthiti Sanchara Pradayo Pradakshita Vichittotat Sarvagiro Yadyat Karmatanomi Tattavahidam Atmatma, you are my Atma. Girija, Lord Ambal, is my intellect, my knowledge. Sahajara Pranaha, all the Deva Ganas, all the Shiva Ganas are my soul, my breath. Prana Shariram Griham, this entire body is pure temple. Pujate Vishayopa Bhoga Rachana. What thoughts I have, I offer it to you as my puja, as my sacrifice to you. Nidra Samadhi Sthiti. Will I be doing puja only when I am awake? I want to do it every day, every hour, every minute, every second of my life. So when I sleep, that becomes my Samadhi Sthiti. Even at that point of time, I should be thinking about you. Please give me that knowledge, that capacity to think about you every second. Nidra Samadhi Sthitihi Sanchara Padayo Pradakshina Vidhi Stotrani Sarvadiro. He says, if I walk, it must be a pradakshina for you. If I talk, it must be in praise of you. Likewise, Yadyat Karma Karomi Tatta Dakhilam Shambho Tavaradhanam. Whatever I do, every single action that I do, every single karma that I do is Shivarpaniyam. I offer it to you. If I am talking today, it is because of you and it is for you. If I am hearing today, it is because of you and it is for you. If I am eating today, it is because of you and it is for you. Every single activity that we take, if we offer it to Lord Shiva, then we will not have any problem and we will not deviate from the path of bhakti. After performing such a puja, Adi Shankara Bhagavad says, I have offered all that puja, but O Lord Shiva, Karacharana Kritam Va Kayajam Karmajam Va Shravananayanajam Va Manasam Va Paradham Vihitam Avihitam Va Sarvametat Kshamasva Jaya Jaya Karunabhe Shri Mahadeva Shambho Shri Mahadeva Shambho Shri Mahadeva Shambho Kshamasvamam Shambho. After offering this prayer, I don't know if I have given it with 100% perfection. There might be some faults and defects in this. So, please accept my apologies. Kara charana kritam va kayajam karmajam va. These mistakes might be because of my hands, my legs, my eye, my ear, my mouth, my body, my thoughts, my actions. It might be because of anything. But you are the Daya Nidhi. You are the ocean of compassion. So please accept my offerings. Please accept my puja. Even if it has got some defects, please accept my apologies and bless me. This is the ideal kind of puja that every one of us must perform every day. We all say that we don't have time for puja these days. If we try to implement what Adi Shankara Bhagavad has said, then every single action in our life becomes a puja. Every single second of our life becomes puja, becomes Shivarpaniyam. And that is what Shiva Paraman expects from us. To give us this knowledge, to show the best path of devotion and puja, Adi Shankara Bhagavad has given us this divine stotram, Shiva Manasa Puja Stotram. And the puja that we do through our mind is the purest. So our ancestors, forefathers and our gurus thought that we have to offer our prayers to Lord Shiva through our mind at least for once in a year. So they all chose Mahashivaratri, a very powerful day for us to divert our thoughts and divert our actions towards Lord Shiva and towards Shiva Bhakti. On this auspicious day, we move from darkness or ignorance to light or knowledge. Sleep is considered to be ignorance. It is tamoguna. Only when we try to control our sleep, we try to come out of our comfort zone. Only when we come out of our comfort zone, we can purify our thoughts and we can channelize our actions and thoughts into Shiva Bhakti, which is much more divine and elated than the materialistic things that we are facing today. So our ancestors thought the mortals who are living here must try to channelize, must try to involve themselves in satsangam and bhakti at least for once in a year. And on Shivaratri, it is believed that Lord Shiva exhibits his cosmic dance. And at that point of time, the positivity around us is too high. If we wake up the entire night, if we stay awake the entire night, and if we keep thinking about Lord Shiva, then we will be able to grasp that positivity, and that positivity will drive away the ignorance in our life, and it will light a lamp in us. Jnanadipena Bhasvata, says Bhagavad Gita. It will light the lamp of knowledge in us. But should we do it every night? If we have to control our sleep and to give up our materialistic pleasures, then we have to do something or the other every day. So should we stay awake all night, every day throughout the year? Should we just give up on sleep? What is the solution for this? Our gurus and elders have given us one tool to control our mind and to indulge it in Shiva Bhakti, and that tool is Nama Sankirtana. Why is it important to control our mind? In Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna, who is Gudakesha, the conqueror of sleep, one who has controlled his mind, asks Shri Krishna, O Krishna, Chanchalamahi Manah Krishna Pramathi Balavad Girdham. This mind seems to be wavering, and it is 100 times or 1,000 times or million times more stronger than my willpower. And it is like a lamp which is lit and the flame being flickering here and there. It does not sit in one place. Now we are all in this divine satsangam. If we decide to close our eyes for 2 minutes and to just think about Lord Shiva, can we do it successfully for 2 minutes? At least for a second, our mind would jump elsewhere and it will come back. So if we are not able to do it for 2 minutes, how can we do it continuously? And this is creating a lot of problems in my life. I am not able to win over my mind. What do I do? What should I do, O Krishna? Krishna replies, Asamshayam Mahabaho. Certainly, undoubtedly, this is a very common phenomenon for every one of us. But this is not something which is impossible to conquer. If there is something which has to be won over, then it can be done by Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. This can be done by constant practice and determination and devotion. Abhyasena vairagyena. Through practice and determination, nothing is impossible. So, hey Arjuna, try practicing it. And once you start practicing, don't give up. Keep doing this with determination and dedication towards it, so that one day you will definitely achieve your goals. So, bringing our mind under our control is not that easy, but it is not impossible. It requires practice every single day, and it requires determination from our side. And for that, for us to practice, we have a tool, and that is Nama Sankirtanam. So the best way to achieve Lord Shiva's place, to achieve Mukti, to attain Kailasam, to merge with him, to attain Mukti, is to chant his names constantly. Nothing other than his name can save us. In fact, in Kali Yuga, Nama Sankirtanam is the best way to attain Lord. Nama Sankirtanam is the Kali Yuga Dharma. So, by constantly reciting his name, are reminded of His greatness, of His qualities, and by this we will try to channelize our thoughts towards Him and we will try to meditate upon Him every second. In fact, Panchaksharam of Lord Shiva is there everywhere. It is spread across everywhere. How can we say that? Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya is the Panchakshara. These 5 aksharas, 5 syllables, represent the 5 elements in this world. Panchabhuta. Na represents earth. Ma represents water. Shi represents fire. Va represents air. Ya represents space. Anything and everything around us is made up of these 5 elements. And when Namah Shivaya is there in all these elements, then Namah Shivaya is there all around. We are made up of Namah Shivaya. In us, Namah Shivaya. Everywhere we find Namah Shivaya. So if we keep chanting Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, then we try to merge our Jivatma with the Paramatma and we try to see Him in every single thing possible, and through this we bring our mind under our control. Namah Shivaya. Shiva. The Nama Shiva is itself very auspicious. Shiva itself means auspiciousness. In Bhagavatam, Satidevi says, Yadvyaksharam nama dhireditam vrinam sakrit prasangat adyamam shuhantitam pavitra kirtim tamadamghya shasanam aho bhavan dveshti shivam shivetaraha. Shivam. These 2 aksharas are capable of washing away all our sins, all our evil deeds. It purifies everyone the minute we think about it. Whether it is told intentionally or unintentionally, it will always give us happiness and eternal bliss. Such is the greatness of Shivanamam. Shivanamam has the ability to give us everything. This is told by one of the greatest devotees of Lord Shiva, Tirunjana Sambandar, through his Thevaram. வேதம் நான்கிலும் மெய்ப்பொருளாவது. திருஞான சம்பந்தர் says, even if you are not able to chant all the Vedas, it is okay, because the essence of all these Vedas is given to us through Panchakshara. Nadan Namam Namachivayame. Namashivaya Panchaksharam is the essence of all Vedas. And if we recite it with utmost devotion, Kadalagi, Kasindu, if we melt by hearing his namas, Kannir Malgi, if we have tears in our eyes when we listen to his namas, if we have tears in our eyes when we keep listening to his glories or when we talk about his glories, then if we have attained that stage, then Oduvar Tammai Nanneri Kuipadu, he will definitely give his own abode to us. He will take us to Kailasam and he will give us liberation from this cycle of birth and death. This is the ultimate truth and this is the only savior for all of us. Now we know that our mind should be pure, and once in a year we sacrifice our sleep and we try to devote our actions and thoughts to Lord Shiva, and we try channelizing it every day by involving ourselves in Nama Sankirtanam and Satsangam. We know it through the shlokas and devarams that we have. But what is the pramanam? Who is an example? Who can be taken to prove this fact? Who cannot be taken to prove this fact? Every single bhakta of Lord Shiva has attained him only by chanting his names constantly. One such example is Thirunyana Sambandar, who was born in the 7th century in a small town called Sirgadi in Tamil Nadu, India. He was called Thirunyana Sambandar. He had contact, or he was in close relation with eternal knowledge, Jnana. How did he get that knowledge? He lived in this world only for 16 years, but in that short duration, he had composed about 16,000 songs on Lord Shiva, and that too. All the Devarams that we get today is an essence of the Shastras and Vedas that we see. In just 16 years, how did he get that Jnana? When he was 3 years old, he visited Satyanathar temple in Sirgadi, and he was made to sit near the tank. His father was a Hatha yogi. He had the ability to control his breath for a very long time, and by doing so, he had the ability to meditate upon Lord Shiva continuously. One day, he was made to sit there, and his father went into the tank, and since he was a Hatha yogi, he stopped his breath and started thinking about Lord Shiva. This child didn't know what to do. He cried. He called out to his parents. He cried and he cried and he cried. No one responded. His mortal parents didn't respond. But looking at his greatest devotee cry, Shivaperuman and Ambal couldn't resist. Mata tu Parvati Devi Pita Devo Maheshwaraha Bandhava Shiva Bhaktascha Swadesho Bhuvanatrayam. Lord Shiva is the father of this entire world, and Ambal is the mother of this entire world. Since they are the constant and eternal parents, they come down to Bhuloka, to this mortal world, to feed that child. Jnanambika, who is also called Avita Kuchalambar or Unnamalai Amman, feeds him with Jnanapal, the milk that is mixed with eternal knowledge. After drinking that, the child becomes silent. Father comes out of the water. He finds drop of milk in the child's mouth. He asks that child, "Who gave you milk? Why did you cry? Why did you take milk from others? Who was it who gave you milk?" For which Tirunjana Sambandar sings his first Thevaram. Kodudaya Sevijan, Kodudaya Sevijan, Kodudaya Sevijan, Kodudaya Sevijan, Vijaye Koduvenari Suji, Kodudaya He sings about Lord Shiva and says, Todudaya Seviyan. For those viewers who understand Tamil, will understand this better. Todudaya Seviyan. There is a difference between Tod and Kundala. Tod is the earring that is worn by female and Kundala is worn by male. Seviyan means he who has got this earring. And in this Thevaram, Tirunjana Sambandar says, Todudaya Seviyan. He had earrings which is worn by female, which is worn by women. Father didn't understand anything. He was perplexed totally. But if we go deep into the meaning, Shivaperuman had not come alone. He had not come in the usual form. He had taken the Ardhanari form and he had come. So, Todudaya Seviyan. Ambal was also there. Shivan was also there. He had come in Ardhanari Rupam to us. Todudaya Seviyan. Vidayeri. He had come riding on Vrishabha. Tu Venmadi Sudi. He had crescent moon on his head. Kadudaya Sudalai Podi Pusi. He had sacred ash all over his body. After listening to this description, we might not find it very pleasing. We cannot see a person who has applied sacred ashes throughout his body. We might not find it very pleasing. But Tirunjana Sambandar says, Yen ullam kavar kaluvan. He is the one who stole my heart. Here, in Vedam, in Rudram, it is said, Stenanampataye namaha, Taskaranampataye namaha. He is the Lord of thieves. Lord of thieves. So, he keeps stealing everything. What does he steal? He steals our heart. So here, Thirugnana Sambandha's heart was stolen by Lord Shiva. His radiance, the Jyoti which was there in Lord Shiva, attracted him, and his heart was stolen by Lord Shiva. Which Shiva? Where does he reside? He is that Shiva who resides in this Satyanath temple, where he had given boon to Brahma, blessed Brahma, and it is that Satyanath in this Piramapuram, Brahmapuram, who had come in the form of Ardhanarishwarar and had blessed me. After listening to this, the father got perplexed. He was totally shocked to see a 3-year-old kid describing Lord Shiva in Ardhanari Rupam, and to see that he had got the darshan, the divine vision of Lord Shiva. This news spread like wildfire, and everyone started visiting Thirugnana Sambandar. Thirugnana Sambandar had also visited many temples. We have Padal Petra Sthalangal, and almost all the Padal Petra Sthalam is in the north and south banks of Kaveri. So, Thirugnana Sambandar managed to visit many temples, and in all those temples, he kept singing about Lord Shiva. After coming to know about him, a queen, Mangayarkarasi, wanted Thirugnana Sambandar to visit that kshetram where she was living. This is because that was a time when Buddhism and Jainism was fast growing. There is nothing wrong about the religion growing, but that religion must not grow at the cost of another religion. There must not be any forceful conversion. Jainism had in fact preached ahimsa, non-violence, but there is nothing wrong in the religion, but it is a mistake on the part of the practitioners who had taken up himsa or violence in their hand to convert everyone into Jainism. And somehow they all wanted to close or finish off Vaishnavism and Shaivism once and for all. That was a time when everything was totally devastated. Our cultural roots were being affected, and at that point of time, everyone saw Jnana Sambandar as a ray of hope to revive our culture. There was a king called Kon Pandiyan, and his wife was Mangayarkarasi. Jains had this habit of bringing all kings under their control, so that through kings they were able to convert all the people of that country or people of that state. So they tried capturing everyone through kings, and Kon Pandiyan was also a victim to it. Mangayarkarasi didn't want her husband to move away from Shaivism. So she invites Thirugnana Sambandar to take them out of this situation. He also comes. He stays in an ashramam which was set to fire by Jains. At that point of time, Thirugnana Sambandar does not cry. He didn't make any stotram. He didn't scold Shiva Perumal. He didn't do anything. He just kept quiet. To the surprise of Jains, the entire ashramam was burnt down into ashes, but not even a speck of fire could affect Thirugnana Sambandar. He came out of the ashes with nothing affecting him. And by looking at it, Kon Pandiyan and Jains got worried. They got afraid. Thirugnana Sambandar had told only one thing. Let this fire affect Kon Pandiyan. He told only one thing, and this was immediately taken from this ashram and it had hit Konpandi. It went into his stomach and he had a severe stomach pain out of which he couldn't come out. James tried many mantras, many magic, but still they were not able to cure him. But Tirunjana Sambandar had just applied Tirunir, the sacred ash, on his stomach and he sings Tirunetru Padigam, after which this stomach pain leaves Konpandi and he gets cured. By looking at the greatness of Tirunir, sacred ash, and the divine Nama of Lord Shiva, Konpandi comes back to Shaivism. But James didn't want to accept that. At that point of time, there is a contest between James and Tirunjana Sambandar. They had Anarvadam, Punarvadam. Both the sides would write something on a piece of paper and they will put it in fire. This is Anarvadam. That paper which is not burnt proves the truth, gives us the true religion. So whatever Tirunjana Sambandar wrote didn't get converted into ashes. It was still there as paper. So Tirunjana Sambandar won. And then they had Punarvadam. They would write something on a paper and they would throw it in the river. River flows downstream. That paper which goes upstream shows true religion. That is the religion which would win this contest. And Tirunjana Sambandar writes this Devaram, Punarvadam, and puts it in water and it goes upstream. So ultimately, Shaivism won and Tirunjana Sambandar was able to establish Shaivism again and to bring back our culture. What helped him? Only the Nama, Shiva Nama helped him. Because he says, Aran Namame Sulga Vayyagavam Tuyar Tirkave. For us to come out of this calamity, Aran Nama, Shiva Nama, Shiva's name must be spread across everywhere and only that can help us. So, there are many life incidents in Tirunjana Sambandar's life or in any other Bhakta's life which shows us that only Nama Sankirtanam, the divine names of Lord Shiva, can help us. Only the divine names can help us cross this Bhava Sagara, this Samsara Sagara, and only His names can liberate us from the cycle of birth and death. So on this auspicious occasion of Mahashivaratri, we have got this wonderful opportunity, or in fact we are all fortunate and blessed to hear the glory of Lord Shiva, the glory of Nama Sankirtanam, the benefits of Nama Sankirtanam, the story of Tirunjana Sambandar, and the best way to offer our prayers to Lord Shiva. From this day, being an auspicious day, let us all try to involve ourselves in Nama Sankirtanam and let us try to be in contact with Shiva Nama and Shiva Kainkaryam throughout our life, and let us try to offer every single thing in our life to Lord Shiva, and let us try to completely surrender ourselves and let us march towards Lord Shiva with utmost bhakti and devotion. I once again thank the organizers for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be a part of this divine satsanga. Hara Namah Parvati Pataye, Hara Hara Mahadeva. Sadgurunath Maharaj ki Jai. தென்னாட்டுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி.